find something, boy. Death.
Found her.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone...
She's a scumbag.
No. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
That's just cruel, man. That dang
We can't leave
Annabella.
them here like this.
I wish I can kill her right now.
But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
We have an obelisk here if we ever need to come back. I didn't realize we have more
We're approaching Buick Bridge.
area
I
to
doubt the
uncover.
Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith.
We haven't fought some chocobos in a while. Maybe we'll get some good loot. Bum. That's nice. Bum. I did that as he died. My bad. I forgot I don't have Wicked Wheel anymore. I just remembered, like, oh, Aerial Blast is the one I have now. More spiders. Why is it always spiders? Behold. Bum. Run. Bewit Bridge. How do we pronounce that? This reminds me, you know what this theme reminds me of? This reminds me of, in Tales of Graces, the loop that plays inside the Rockagong. That's what this reminds me of. Like that theme that plays when you're inside the Rockagong's stomach. Which I call it a loop because it barely even counts as music, but that's what this sounds like right now.
I did, Mummy.
Like, I feel like I'm doing the Rockagong dungeon from Graces
They
right
tell
now.
us there's a curfew, but then refuse us.
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home.
And Lady Annabella is a scumbag. And this is just cruel, man. These poor Rosarians. Quiet Sands. I haven't found any sign of a mark, by the way. I have no idea how generous they're going to be when it comes to finding them. But I would like to get more marks if I can. I forgot what icon I was on. I didn't really mean to use this. I just completely forgot what icon I was using. Oh, hello. I guess you got hit by the Flames of Rebirth, which is surprising to say the least. Where on earth did these other two crabs come from? I thought there was only that one. I wasn't expecting so many here. Nice. You know what this world doesn't have? Many boats. There aren't many boats in this universe. There was that one boat they were using, Jill and Clive, to get to their hideaway, but other than that, there aren't too many boats in this universe, which I find interesting. The setting of this game is definitely something interesting. It really reminds me a bit of 12 in, like, the setting alone. Even parts of the story, like it's a war plot, but it's just got so much more to it. It goes so much deeper than FF12 ever did.
What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better.
Honestly, when it comes to Final Fantasy, I see a bit of 6 in the story, a bit of 9, and a bit of 12, and even some unique stuff not in other FF games, but the summons make me think of it like an FF6 plot, because FF6 had a big focus on the summons, and 9 as well, and 9 had the crystals. And this game has mother crystals. Goodbye. This is overkill, but I love it. Ramu! I love that scream. Come here.
Stay down.
Oh, hello. It never ends. That was bad. I should have done that first before, like, knocking him away. $165 XP, really good. Really don't level up fast in this game, huh? Leveling up is pretty slow. But, like, levels don't really make much of a difference other than, like, raw stats, but even then, you're better off just getting equipment for that.
That's the main
And
gate.
HP is your main source of
That looks
leveling
like
up.
we're
Like,
not
that's
the
the main
only
reason
ones
you
hoping
want
to
to be
get in.
leveling up. Because I haven't run into an accessory that's like, hey, raise your HP by this amount of percentage.
Let us pass! My children are starving!
Have mercy.
Viceland's dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep.
Better out there than in here.
More than enough room to sit in.
off. Hang the chinless bastards. Those crystals belong to us all.
Bleeding horse!
I said, where were you, filth? Back to your sties. Cut you down where you stand.
Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in. I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus. We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
Oh, Blacklight Burns. I was about to do active time lore because I just remembered about active time lore. We haven't done it, but oh, dude, I don't like having to interrupt the cutscenes because I don't like interrupting the cutscenes to do it. I'd rather just do it after the cutscene or before the cutscene. I don't want to pause the cutscene, the whatever's going on, the talk or whatever, to have to read this. A port city situated on the southwestern coast of the imperial province of Rosaria, only Rosalia rivals it for size, and in the glory days of Archduke Elwin's reign, its streets bustled with traders from across Valistia. Sadly, those days are long since gone, and Sabrekoi's occupation has seen everything from marketplace to military institutions subverted to the will of the Empire. Younger brother of the late Archduke Elwin and warden of Port Isolde, thriving trading port in the south of Rosaria, Byron inherited a small fortune from his noble family, which he built into a large one by virtue of his mercantile wiles and adventurous spirit. Yo, adventurous. There is not a trading house, not a tap house in Valistia, and beyond that does not have a tale to tell of Lord Byron Rossfield. An exclusive walled residential area situated just outside the eastern edge of Port Isolde. It was once the jewel in the city's crown and home to many of the nobles of the duchy. However, after the empire moved its capital to the Crystalline Dominion, Port Isolde was all but abandoned, and this once grand district was soon overrun with thieves and cutthroats.
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
But yeah, my biggest issue with the game is easily the ATL. The ATL thing is cool. I just wish there was more opportunity. If there is, the game has not told me yet, but I wish there was more, a bigger window of opportunity to read up on the lore, not having to interrupt cutscenes to read it. It's either like you can read about lore after a cutscene finishes or before a cutscene finishes, or it just reminds you like, hey, you got some new lore. Kind of like a skip prompt in Tales of. Like in Tales of Arise, not just Tales of Arise, all Tales of games, they tell you like, oh, hey, a new skit just appeared. They can do that for like ATL. I would love that.
This is nothing like I remember it.
And I kind of wish they did because I love the I love the ATL system. But I also don't love it enough to have to interrupt the cutscene to read about it. Again, if there is a way to read about lore later, the game should have told me about that. The game made it sound like, oh, you have to open it during scenes and everything. It did not tell me of like another way to read about lore.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out.
Alright, we'll throw hands. I see the caster. Get the caster first. Caster out of here. Nice. There might be another, though. Goodbye. Behold. Too easy. Oh, you got it, Jill. Never mind, I got him with Deadly Embrace, literally. That stab was so light. That looked like a light stab, and then Clive's like, oh, he's dead. Just one stab is all it takes.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died. Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is. So wait.
We can speak inside.
And those...
Sorry, if I don't do this now, then it's better that I do it before the cutscene than middle. But if I don't do it now, I'll miss out on lore on Sir Wade. A loyal shield of Rosaria, chosen by Lord Commander Roddenary Murdoch to accompany Clive on the expedition to Stillwind, though he did all he could to return the favor that he owed to Joshua for saving his life as a boy during the attack on Phoenix Gate. Wade was to meet the same fate as the prince. Really cool that we're seeing Wade here. That's a nice way to bring him back in. The loyal soldiery of the Duchy of Rosaria, they serve under the Standing Army's Lord Commander, whose task is to enact the will of their own sovereign. The Archduke, those who show sufficient aptitude or who are blessed with sufficient nobility of birth are made shields, personal retainers to the Archduke himself. Nothing new, I don't think, right? And it's comprising of western reaches. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same.
Who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye, the foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
Is Wade gonna be like a party member, like Sib was?
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.